Hello everyone, welcome to The Helpful Hustle. Now today, I don't know whether or not you've been thinking about it, but getting a virtual assistant could be really, really beneficial for your business. So I've brought along the lovely Marie Peters, who is from Get Ahead Surrey, which is an outsourcing specialist agency that helps everyone from a one-man band all the way through to growing businesses by finding them the right expertise and professionals to help them with whatever they need doing. So she's here today to talk to us about what having a virtual assistant actually means. Hi Marie, thank you very much.
Hi. No problem. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Now, this is a really interesting thing because I think a lot of people don't really understand the idea of what a virtual assistant is. And also, if they kind of do or think they know what it is, they probably think, oh, it's really expensive. I couldn't possibly afford that as a small business. So tell us a little bit more about it and why it can actually work for small businesses as well.
Sure. So, so virtual assistant is basically anybody that's, a remote worker and a sort of flexible resource that you can use as part of your team. So we have a range of virtual assistants that we work with that have different skill sets. So some are kind of, your traditional sort of executive assistant. They've worked with CEOs and things like that, and they do diary management and kind of, personal organisation and that sort of thing. We have others who have got marketing background, so they can help with anything to do with your marketing, your social media, how you promote yourself, through to, finance experts who can help with bookkeeping and your accounts and all that kind of thing. So it's just that support that you can lean on as and when you need it to help you run your business, basically, and allow you to do all the things that you want to do and you should be doing to grow your business.
And what do you think has been kind of, in your experience of placing these experts, what do you think people have found most beneficial from a virtual assistant? Has it been something as simple as tracking their social media, having someone do all that for them so it frees people up? Or is it actually more the accountancy side of things, for example?
I think it's just taking away that that pressure, all those plates you're trying to spin as a business owner. You've got 101 things to do, all those things to think about, all these ideas of what you want to do next, and it's having someone that you can rely on to take away all those sort of things that need to happen to keep everything running along smoothly. So whether that's you're struggling with how to run your social media, you need to have a marketing presence but you're not quite sure what to do, it's someone that can just make sure that sort of ticks along and happens while you focus on your clients or your products or whatever your business is. And I think the thing with outsourcing is it just it allows you to focus on the reason that you started the business in the first place. So whatever you started is what you're a specialist in, and what sort of brings you joy. You should be doing that. You should be spending 80% of your time doing the things that bring you joy and that you're best at, not trying to learn the million other things that you need to do when you run a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. It's so important. And that's probably why we've all left to do our own business as well, is to make sure that we keep it as a joy and not something that suddenly becomes a chore. Now, in terms of these experts that you bring in, where do they come from? Are they freelancers? Are you bringing in agencies? I mean, there's people that will be thinking, what's the cost when it comes to this as well? Yeah.
So we work as an agency. So we have a sort of team of virtual assistants and, freelancers that we work with, and they're all sort of UK based. They can be quite local to you. So when you're allowed, you can, meet them in real life. So they're based all over the place. Like I said, you can tap into their skills as and when you need it. It's not something you need to commit to, like employing someone. If you need some ad hoc support for a couple of weeks while you go on holiday, someone can do holiday cover for you. Or if you need some long-term support, someone to manage your diary and make sure everything, you need to do in terms of deadlines and stuff like that happens. It can be really flexible. We work generally on like an hourly basis with our clients. So, support, like I said, as and when you need it. And our BAs will generally, give a timesheet every week to the client so they know where they're at in terms of, time spent and cost. So it can be really flexible. And it's not sort of a scary commitment. It can kind of be switched on and switched off as you need it, or start small and sort of see the benefits and then build up from there.
And I'm sure a lot of people watching are kind of thinking, great, this is all well and good, but what about the cost of it? What is the bottom line and the entry level in which I can come in and pay for these services? Because if you're going to suddenly say it's over £100 an hour, I know that a lot of people are going to be like, I'm never paying that because I can't afford it. So tell me something good.
Yeah. So we start, sort of a starting rate would be around £25-30 an hour for your kind of admin, PA type work. And like I said, there's no commitment to, minimum, number of hours or anything like that. It's kind of, very ad hoc and flexible. And I think, you just need to put into perspective that cost. How long would it take you, to do tasks you've been struggling with, and you're doing, looking at online videos to learn how to do it. Someone could, one of our VAs can do that in an hour, cost you £25, and your hour is then spent on, the revenue generating, activities, getting money from your clients, doing your core business, which is going to make you more money.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, because I just think do what you do really well. And if you don't do something really well, invest in getting someone else to do it who can do it really well, and it will save you time and money.
Exactly.
And I suppose having someone like you as a trusted source to find these experts is actually quite reassuring, because there's obviously sites out there. There's like Fiverr.com, there's People Per Hour. I often find when I'm looking at that, I'm going, I don't know who to speak to and what I need for that. So, and the trust level isn't necessarily there. What's the difference by having someone like yourself come in and find these people?
Yeah, so I guess, the advantage of using an agency is that we've kind of done a bit of vetting for you. So everyone that sort of works with us is, we look at their experience, we look at their skill sets, and make sure, that they've got, experience of working with clients and the sort of different industry sectors or different verticals. So we sort of, we're able to match our clients with the best VA for them, not only in their skill set, but also in their sort of working style and their personality, which is really important when you're working quite closely with someone. And instead of having to sort of try and put your trust in one person, or, trying to find one or two VAs yourself, you can kind of come to us as sort of a one-stop shop, and we can put you in touch with, you might need two people to help you, with slightly different skill sets. So that's sort of advantage of using an agency.
And in terms of the idea of using you guys as an agency, is there like a retainer that we have to give you guys, or does it come out of the fee? How does this kind of fee structure work?
So the client still works still pays our hourly rate, and that hourly rate is, we take a percentage of that hourly rate, and the rest goes to the freelancer.
And how do people kind of find the right kind of freelancer for them? Do they speak to someone like yourself as the first point of contact, and then kind of give you the brief, and then you give them a selection of people?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes our clients come to us and they know exactly what they want. I need someone to help me run my social media because it's just, taken over my life, and I want to do 3 posts a week, and I want someone to do that for me, so we can then work from there. But other clients will come and be like, I don't know where to start. I'm up to here, I'm getting overwhelmed with work. I need some help to delegate stuff. I'm not sure where to start. So we can sort of help them go through all their sort of processes and their workload, and actually try and streamline things and help them with that delegation process, because that can be quite tough. And what we do generally say to it, sort of growing businesses, you should start outsourcing stuff before you really, really need to, so that you sort of, can start small, build up that trust with someone, and then start to let go of things slowly but surely, because it can, it is tough when it's your little, it's your business, it's your baby, and you're sort of giving up some control to someone else. So that's what we do generally try and recommend.
But the benefits, the real benefits of having someone external that you're outsourcing to, means that there's no commitment for a long-term basis as well. So you're not suddenly employing someone.
Exactly,
and you can dip in and dip out, I suppose, as and when you need it. And I think that's a really positive thing for small businesses, because they probably don't know that they need it until they suddenly have it, and it's kind of a benefit to do that on an hourly basis.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's obviously cost advantages of not employing someone and going down this route, but also I think the way the world's changing, I think people are getting used to not having to you don't feel like you need to have employees sat next to you and you're in your office 9 to 5. You can kind of let the experts do what they do when it suits them. And on the flip side as well, with sort of, the virtual assistants and our freelancers, I think there's even more and more people that want to work like that, work with the different businesses and, use their skills in a much more flexible way rather than, the kind of traditional 9 to 5.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think it's such a valuable thing. And I think it's great to kind of get you to explain exactly what it means to have a virtual assistant, because it is so beneficial, even if you are just working on your own. It's also that bit of company. Someone's taking off some of the workload, having that conversation. If you're moving from an office job to working on your own, it can feel quite isolating. So at least this,
definitely.
Yeah, it gives you the option of having that feel of a team straight away.
Exactly. And, some of our VAs just might be like a bit of a sounding board sometimes, about, ideas or, whatever their sort of specialism is, they can sort of help as well.
So that's really interesting, actually. I'll just pick your brains on that one for a second. So in terms of this kind of sounding board, who would I kind of look for if I was like, I just want someone to just be there to think whether or not my ideas are great or not? I just need
I guess, like I say, it's that point of where do I start? I've got all these ideas and all this stuff I want to do, but where do I start? And I think, we can sort of help work through that quite methodically and, start small, build it up from there.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, listen, that's been really eye-opening, and I hope that reassures a lot of people that the idea of having a virtual assistant doesn't just mean having a PA. It can mean so much more.
Yeah.
So if people want to get in touch with Get Ahead, in fact, Get Ahead Surrey, to get in touch with you directly, how could we do that?
So getaheadva.com is our website, and also on Instagram you can find us as well, and LinkedIn.
Brilliant. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, Marie, thank you so much. It's been really useful. And guys, if you've found that really useful and you want to get in touch with Marie, then please do get in touch here. You can find all of her details. We'll obviously be pushing that out on our social media as well. But it's really interesting to think about how you can help grow your business by taking the pressure off a little bit. So if that helps and you want to find out more, then speak to the experts. Don't start spending loads and loads of money on websites where you actually don't know the caliber and the quality of the people that are working for you. It might just be a good thing to have a friendly face to speak to from the very, very start. So I hope you found that useful. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be speaking to Marie a lot more in the future, so make sure you stay tuned to The Helpful Hustle.